Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Subconscious Healing. My name is Wachs, and I'm here today to do our live weekly show on subconscious healing. We're going to be exploring some amazing, modern, and super advanced healing techniques. Just going to wait for a few people to jump on. And while we do that, I'm just going to find the feed so I can see the comments. Oh, there it is. Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Wonderful. Very excited to see some of you are revisiting. Thank you for joining me. I can't wait to share all that's new with subconscious healing. So much has happened in the past month or so. It's very exciting. Wonderful. So thank you everybody for joining. My name is Emma Wachs and I'm a subconscious healer. And so what that means is I have the ability to intuitively identify the deepest root cause of any difficulty in your life and see what the root cause of this is. So we may sometimes be aware of the fact that if we're experiencing resistance with our flow in abundance and receiving money, or if we have health issues in our body, we may know that we have energetic blocks beneath the surface, and we may know that our past experiences may be contributing to this in some way. But what we've been able to really solidify with subconscious healing is intuitively identifying the absolute root cause of these things. And usually this will come back down to a limitation that we've experienced for a very, very long time. It may go as far back as childhood. And it's very possible that this may stem beyond our existence in this lifetime as well. So something that we explore is your perfect perception with healing and with your health and your well-being. Because if you're somebody who's really super inclined to healing and energy work in general, and you're somebody who really connects with your past lives and with experiences that have been, taken back through your ancestral lines, then that is absolutely something that we want to explore. But if you are somebody who has really thrived on having knowledge in your life, who has really benefited from, the medical current viewpoints and how they see healing to really be able to support you, then we absolutely explore that. So what we have really been able to coin here is that the absolute necessary truths that we need to overcome and the truths that we need to bring into the space for you, that is the absolute perfect way that we ensure shifts happen for you. So if you are inclined to healing, subconscious healing is perfect for you. If you're brand new into the health and wellness or self-development arena, subconscious healing is still perfect for you, because we don't need to go into detail on anything that comes up for you or any limitation that it's in the highest good to shift. All we purely need is the time and space, and we need to create the time and space for you in order to have these shifts happen in the way that's in the highest good for you, and of course for everybody else around you. So that's a little bit of an introduction into subconscious healing. And I'm the sole founder of the business Find Time and Space. So feel free to add me on Facebook if you'd like to explore further, and there's some links in the description of this live. What I would like to do now is just share a little bit more about me and my journey with subconscious healing. And what I'd like to do towards the end is offer the opportunity for one lucky person to have some limiting beliefs cleared. And anybody that has watched any of my work before knows that if something is in the highest good for one person to shift, but it's also resonating with anybody else who is watching, then this will absolutely shift for you as well. So you may notice that already as I've been speaking, your energetic vibration has perhaps lifted. You may be able to experience things from a slightly elevated point of view or from a slightly elevated space. And so, what I offer with every word that I share is the opportunity to have something shifted, the opportunity to receive new levels of insight into what some of your limiting beliefs may be. And if it's in the highest good to shift those, they will shift straight away. So, I will be feel free, anybody who feels that any of their friends may enjoy watching this, feel free to share this or create a watch party. Feel free to also pop into the comments section if you're watching. Let us know what your name is and where you're from. And what I would love to do is offer one of you a very special chance to have a limiting belief cleared live on this show towards the end of these segments. So thank you everybody for joining. So my name is Emma, and I have had a very, very interesting journey with healing. I noticed that I had a very amazing natural ability at being able to intuitively identify what the deepest root cause of my illnesses were. So for me, I've had a range of different physical health difficulties, a lot of reproductive issues, purely because I have had some very big difficulties in relationships and healing, and I will get into that a little bit later. But for me, I noticed that I had a very interesting natural ability to be able to shift and clear things within me purely just by bringing awareness to what may be happening beneath the surface. And what I noticed was that awareness was wonderful for me. It really worked. The more that I became self-aware and I started exploring the law of attraction and ways to manifest by shifting things within myself, I really noticed how my life started changing. And this was really wonderful up until a certain point. Because what I found was that awareness of what I was experiencing was wonderful, and it created some miniature shifts. But what happened at the same time as this was that my universal awareness grew to a point where I now became super aware of some really super deep limitations within me. And this is where I found myself stuck. I had become so aware of all of the emotional difficulties that I had been experiencing throughout my life. And I had become so super aware of, some of the most traumatic things in my life, to the point where I started to feel bogged down by them. And I actually really started to suffer with some pretty serious health issues due to the fact that I was aware of some horrible things that may or may not have happened to me in my past, and B, there were things that were so horrible that I decided to be brave and explore these, but then all of a sudden realized, wow, I don't have the tools to get myself out of this. So some of the deep emotional difficulties I was experiencing, I was exploring the reasons why I had alcoholism in my life, why I had sexual abuse in my life, why I had, difficulties attracting, relationships and people into my life that were just not supportive whatsoever. I started exploring these things and I uncovered some of the root causes, but I had actually cracked the egg without being able to really see exactly how I could help myself. So this is what, is such a huge passion of what I do, and such a huge purpose in what I do, is allowing people the space to heal and shift things without the need to dive really super deep into exactly what it is that has come up. And this leads me into a new development with subconscious healing, because I not only have the ability to intuitively identify the deepest root cause of a situation or experience in somebody's life, I also have the ability to shift energy at the DNA level. So this is where we start to really be able to explore the entire process from beginning to end on exactly how limitations are created for us and exactly how resistance is experienced in our life. And so by becoming comfortable shifting on the DNA level, we are exploring this journey. But instead of the healing process needing to become something whereby we experience all of the bits and pieces of pain that we need to go through, whereby we need to accumulate knowledge of, all of the bits and pieces of things that are there to be shifted, what we can actually achieve is a very light and very blissful process of healing. So to me, it's always been really important to be able to bring in that element to healing, because I realized for myself very early on that I became a little obsessed with healing. And it wasn't because I loved it so much, which is what I thought at the time. But upon exploring this deeper, what I realized was that the obsession was there because I was so desperate to be free from the limitations beneath the surface. And I realized that healing was just a stepping stone to something far greater, far more transformational, and far more amazing than I ever could have imagined possible for myself. It was a stepping stone to becoming the newest, truest, and purest and most amazing version of me as I explored my life purpose. And this is the beautiful journey that I offer for people. It's so much more than healing, so much more than shifting your deepest limitations and finding ways for us to be able to break through those limitations and resistance in our life, but also opening up the space for new opportunities to start flowing into your life and offering a peaceful and graceful journey moving forward throughout that transformation. So, everybody who connects with me for healing not only has the opportunity to receive healing, they also have the opportunity to learn more about what it is that I do and start learning how to utilize these techniques for themselves. So, I'm also an intuitive energy trainer, which means that I have the ability to teach you how to subconsciously heal your limiting beliefs. And I have a beautiful range of programs where I teach you how to intuitively connect in with the truest version of you and how to slowly begin integrating the energy of it into your body, into your life, and into your future. So, this wonderful process allows for you to not only receive support on shifting and clearing some of the deepest limitations that you may have beneath the surface, but it also opens up the space for you to become the empowered leader of this journey within as well. So, the beautiful, place that I have, made it to in my life. I, found myself somebody so stuck with all of the deepest limitations that I had beneath the surface, feeling like I had absolutely no way out. I almost felt like I was about to give up on the entire journey altogether because I felt like I had tried everything. And, I felt like I had exhausted all of my options and I had tried regular medicine, alternative medicine. I had tried, tarot cards and Reiki healing, not only receiving this, but also learning how to do this for myself. I had tried these things. And I also started exploring, learning about anatomy and physiology. I was always so fascinated about this. Um, but none of those things really gave me the full, complete package. And so I realized what it was when I had stumbled across this amazing, amazing, ability to shift and transform using these techniques, I realized that what I had actually stumbled across was not only a way for me to receive support and receive help from other healers or other life coaches or other support people, but I also discovered a way to be able to connect in with my very own support system. And this is the beautiful effect that subconscious healing has on you. As we expand your intuitive abilities, we allow for you to start exploring all that you could possibly be. And we connect you to the purest version of you, the intuitive self that allows for you to just effortlessly start receiving wisdom from the place where it will truly count, where you will not only be receiving intuitive messages, but you'll be receiving healing, you'll be receiving truth, and you'll be able to reset and realign your energy within you, and also allow for anybody else who's close to you to start experiencing these shifts in whatever ways in the highest good for you. So my journey, began with somebody who was very self-destructive, very distraught, very heartbroken, and also had been through this journey of creating more of an awareness around that. And I ended up transforming into somebody that can now shift and clear anything, and really open up the purpose that I have to share with the world. And so here's the final piece of the introduction that I wanted to share for you today, was my life purpose and what I have discovered for myself and how that has changed my life. And so I have found alongside this journey that I have a beautiful purpose in relationships, and that I have this magical ability to be able to shift relationship dynamics. And so I have a beautiful range of programs that allows for me to shift and transform relationship dynamics between parents and children, that allows for me to shift heartbreak and allows for me to clear any difficult relationship dynamics that you may be experiencing throughout your family, with intimate partners, with friendships, no matter who it is in your life that you feel that you've been struggling with or that you've been stuck in a bit of an energetic rut with. These techniques are magical for it. There are no limits to what's possible with transforming relationships. And so for myself, I realized that as I started transforming my own relationships, I started getting to be able to meet new versions of the people in my life every day. I started being able to finally feel comfortable with the journey of exploring and discovering who my divine partner was, because not only did I have the ability to, decide who I would explore my divine partner connection with, but I found grace and ease with that process and the real firm, all knowing wisdom that guided me throughout that process. So all of these magical experiences that I've had in transforming relationships have not only utilized the techniques in order to be able to make relationships less stressful, less anxious. They've stopped me from suffering from energetic attack in my life and from energetically attacking myself as well, which is always interesting. But also from being able to welcome in new relationships into my life, those relationships that are wonderfully going to support me moving forward. And so this is a beautiful effect that I create for my clients. I not only have the ability of supporting you throughout any relationship transformation that you may need to have, but I also offer the space for you to start learning exactly how you can intuitively start shifting and clearing your limitations in the area of relationships. And what I've found is that this is the perfect starting point with subconscious healing, because you start getting right down into some of the deeper stuff straight away. Because as we know, so many of our limitations have began in our early childhood years. So if we're able to start shifting and clearing from this space, we start shifting and clearing our past, our present, and also our future, and start welcoming new wonderful people into our lives. And sometimes that means that the people that are currently in our lives are able to have have little mini transformations and meet us on these new wonderful levels that we're transforming to. Other times it means that we're saying goodbye to people from our past, letting them go so that we can start to allow in people that are going to be more supportive. So I have a range of wonderful, wonderful services that you are more than welcome to explore. And in the description section, you will find the link for the Subconscious Healing Expo booth. So this is in line with the Spiritual Events Directory Expo. It's in 2 weeks from tomorrow, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Make sure to register for the replay so you don't miss out anything wonderful there. But feel free to join the Facebook group to just get a bit of an idea of some of the work that I do. There's beautiful meditations and subconscious healing demonstrations that are all on offer there for free. So absolutely explore these and soak it all in. Allow yourself to just, explore the energy of what's possible with this as you capture the essence of subconscious healing and all that it has to offer. Wonderful. So I would love for anybody that has any questions to share these into the comment section. I would also like to... Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I would also like to open up the space for anyone to ask, questions into the comment section. I would also like to open up the space for anybody to add me on Facebook. You're more than welcome to add me in and ask me anything that you'd like. I'm now going to open up the space for us to do some shifting and some healing. So please pop your name into the comment section if you would like to have a limiting belief cleared, and just let us know what is it specifically that you would like us to have a look at. Are you experiencing difficulties in your relationships? Are you experiencing difficulties? Sun just popped into a weird space. Let us know what it is you're struggling with. Are you experiencing difficulties in your relationships? Are you experiencing difficulties financially? Are you looking to explore, the relationship that you have with your children and wanting to be able to better that? I have some beautiful intuitive energy trainings whereby I offer support in the way of teaching children how to utilize energetic techniques as well. So there's a beautiful process that really allows for parents to have a wonderful new connection with their children. And I love exploring subconscious healing from this angle because we achieve so much in such a short amount of time, and it really opens up the space for families that are having a tough time, for families that are struggling with very difficult, emotional or relationship dynamics that are weighing them down. This sort of work offers the opportunity for you to all start clearing away the ego mind dynamics that are in the way of you being able to love and connect with each other from a truly deep and powerful and meaningful space. And I know that for myself, I've had wonderful wonderful achievements in this area with my own family, with my closest relationships. I have the ability now to explore whole new versions of these people and explore whole new levels of love now that I no longer have resistance in love and connection within myself. And I also have the opportunity to be able to share this on for others. The other thing you may be interested in receiving some support on is healing or healing the body or health and wellness. So if there's a health difficulty that you've been experiencing, if you've been having increased levels of stress or anxiety, if you've been suffering with feeling pressure from the outside world in some way, whether this is experiencing this from other people, from your job, all sorts of, challenges and difficulties in life are able to be shifted. And what I would love to offer is the opportunity for you all to receive healing. So just pop into the comment section if you're interested in receiving some beautiful healing. And I'm going to scroll through and identify exactly what the core limiting belief is. And I'm actually going to choose something that's going to allow for the entire group to have a shift. Wonderful. So I'm just going to scroll through some of those downs. Oh, thanks, Lenny, for sharing. Thank you. I feel angelic too. Kerry's in Brisbane. Thanks for joining us, Kerry. Josephine's in the USA. Hi, Sharon. Beautiful to connect with you. Hello, Aroha. Lenny's from Grenfell, New South Wales. Thank you for sharing. So great to have you here. Albina, hello. I am actually based on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Woohoo! So that you know, I'm in beautiful Australia. Tanya's from Queensland too. Elsie, hi. Sharon's from WA. Rosemary, hello. So beautiful to have you here. Tanya, having changes due to menopause. Lenny, I get very anxious when moving in close with a lady. Wonderful. So what I feel I may check out firstly is Tanya's question here about changes due to menopause, because I do feel that this will help so many women, not only those who are going through menopause, but women that are having any sort of hormonal difficulties. So I'd love to share some insights there for you. So let's see, what is it that we can tune in on for you? Let's create a nice, beautiful shift. You may all feel my energy flowing into your space. So just allow yourself to sort of relax into this. And if you have any, pressures or stresses in your life, just allow them to slowly wash away. We're going to do some beautiful healing today. So I'm diving into the subconscious energy, and I'm intuitively seeing that there's a real blockage for the group today, and it feels like it's been creating a lot of stress for us all. So this is throwing out a very deep hormonal balance, but I want to get to the core of where this erratic energy began. So for a few of you, it actually feels like the deepest root cause of some of the erratic energy in your field or some of the stress in your life, it comes back down to very early days. And so I can see that for Tanya, there's the farm life is somewhat present, and there are some, some really harsh perspectives that we have. And when I say that, I mean there are some parts of us that really being hard on ourselves. And it feels as though there's a fair few of us at the moment that are just we're just pounding ourselves on the head with everything that's going on. There's a very harsh quality to the way that we're attempting to achieve healing. And this is, not what healing was intended for. Yes, it was intended to shift and transform our lives, but we want to be able to do this from an elegant, supportive, and nurturing space. We don't want to be allowing for this to turn into a job, and we don't want to allow for this to turn into something that we punish ourselves with. So I know that feeling of feeling as though I have to do this now, I have to keep going, I have to continue achieving all that I can, and just piling, numerous different levels of modalities and different, different researching all these different avenues in order to be able to help ourselves and to be able to help it to be able to achieve self-love and self-belief and be able to heal ourselves. We can be so hard on ourselves. So this is the first thing that we wanted to break through today, was just to be able to allow for some of that shifting to occur, just to give ourselves a bit of a break, to be able to rest into this beautiful new level of support that feels as though it wants to come through. Lenny, farm life for me too. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Some of us may not have the farm life as well. Some of us may have, We may be feeling uncomfortable with the job that we're doing. We're forcing ourselves to get up every day, to walk into that office or into that, to get into the car and be sitting in the car for that commute. We're so harsh on ourselves. And it could take so much in order to be able to achieve that. Some of us may be in lockdown at the moment and we're being so hard on ourselves. We're just wanting to, make the most of this time that we have to not have to go to work. But yet inadvertently, what we've done is we've created this, this monster within our minds that wants to micromanage every moment of our lives, consistently overanalyzing, all of the different things that we feel we should be doing every day or that we need to do every day. So what we're experiencing now is the different sorts of, experiences that are connected to this limitation. And it feels like what is at the absolute root cause of this limitation is feeling the sensation that I'm not good enough. When we find that root limitation and we're not feeling good enough within ourselves, it sends us down this journey of attempting to get ourselves out of this uncomfortable feeling. This is where we start becoming really harsh on ourselves. So just pop into the comment section, anybody who has been experiencing this in some way. Also let us know if you're starting to experience this shift. How does it feel? What are you experiencing so far? Some people may be feeling this energetically in their body. Some people may be having intuitive insights, seeing visions, or intuitively being able to see what's beneath the surface. Others may be not really sensing this in the way of feeling or anything in that regard. They may just have an all-knowing sense that something is shifting, that they do have this limitation within them. And what's interesting is that a few of you have shared some into the comment section, some difficult things that you have experienced in your life. And what's really interesting is I feel that we've hit the root cause of all of these. The sensation of not feeling good enough is what is allowed in the experiences that have felt traumatic to us, that have left us feeling somehow scarred or somehow unable to be free, to be suffering with this energy within us and not really being able to feel like we have what we need to be able to move through it. So that's wonderful that we've been able to create that for you. And I'm also feeling a few of you have a fair bit going on in your heart space because we've actually just triggered some fairly deep heartache for you. So just allow for that to be shifted. Breathe into the experience. Just allow for any limitations, any limiting beliefs to be shifted and cleared. That's wonderful. That's right, Jason. Shift happens, magic happens if you believe in it. I love that. So, this is at the root cause of so much stress, so many hormonal issues. But this also may become what is really driving that part of us that is being hard on ourselves. So, to finish off subconscious healing, what we do when we are identifying limitations and clearing them, a beautiful process we want to go through is not just identifying the limitation and the limiting belief beneath the surface, um, but we also want to be able to clear our past experiences of these things. And here's where we start to explore the process of getting a nice, whole, and complete effect. Because if we were to leave the job done there, we've shifted a limiting belief. That's wonderful. We've cleared something from our subconscious. But what about the mind, the part of us that wants to say that our experience knows better, that our collection of experiences is far more powerful or holds far much more validity than this one simple, beautiful shift that we've had? Because we may have had to shift through some energy, but this was relatively easy to clear something fairly big, right? So there's always a little hint of doubt in the space after we have created a nice big subconscious shift. And this is the sort of thing that I love to do for us all at the end of a beautiful group healing. We just want to clear and let go of all of the experiences up until now that have told us anything other than the truth that this is done, that we've been able to shift this limiting belief and forevermore change the way that we process stress, change the way that we handle the limiting belief, I'm not feeling good enough, when it does come up. Because this is a really deep root core limiting belief that will usually have a few different angles to it. And I love to use the analogy of, if we're exploring limiting beliefs, as if it was a rock. We may look at a rock and notice 50 different angles of it. And every time we look at the rock from a different angle, there's a slightly different surface for us to explore. So this is what we start to uncover with the journey of subconscious healing. Every limitation only needs to be shifted once, but there may be some different aspects of some of the deeper limitations to uncover. Still doesn't mean it's a long journey, still doesn't mean it needs to be a painful process, but it does take some time to just ensure that we have the perfect, highest good information that we need in order for us to tackle all of the angles of the rock very, very quickly and very, very effectively. So the way that we do this is by integrating some truth. And so to integrate the truth, we have found a comfortable space in order to do that today. Let's see, what is that? To integrate the truth, we want to bring in some healing. So we're going to allow for some energy to start flowing in through the top of your head, integrating into your body. And we're just going to connect you with a tiny little bit of the true self energy that is possible to access with subconscious healing. And the truth is that you all have everything that you would ever need in order to be able to heal your body, in order to be able to intuitively see exactly what it is that you need moving forward. All we need to do is create the perfect time and space in order for that to happen. And as your true self energy makes itself known to you, as it starts integrating into your body, into your life, effortlessly just transforming all of the beautiful things there that are ready to be transformed, as you let go of everything you're ready to let go of, you find yourself comfortably feeling a bit of balance and equilibrium within yourself, knowing that you've somehow connected with a new version of you, the truest version of who you came here to be. Wonderful. Rosemary sharing that she needs to move away from her outside family. Amazing insight. I hope this beautiful truth has allowed for you to feel comfortable with that. To feel comfortable with unattaching from your family in whatever ways in the highest good. And if anybody else is receiving that message, just know that sometimes this comes through, and energetically we really need to get ourselves to a space where we imagine that if we were to never see our family ever again, we would be okay and comfortable with that. But it's once we've reached this space energetically that things start to transform for us. So it doesn't always mean that this is the case, that this is what needs to happen. But sometimes energetically, we kind of just need to push ourselves there in order for us to be able to, really, really feel comfortable connecting with them moving forward, to reset all of our energetic boundaries so that we're no longer allowing in, the elements of those relationships that were painful or that weren't supportive. We can 100% shift all of our relationships, transform every aspect of our lives until it's all in line with what's in the highest good. Till it feels wonderful. So that we're not just receiving healing in any given moment, but so that we're feeling fulfilled, that we're feeling so much love and passion within ourselves, within who we really are, that we feel comfortable being able to move forward and explore our life purpose. This is the truth of what's possible for us. And I'm absolute proof of that. Tanya's taking it all in. Wonderful. Carrie's mind is feeling lighter. It's wonderful. Jason saw 3:33 p.m. Amazing when that happens. Rosemary's loving it. Jason's returning often to hold that space. Beautiful. Lenny never saw intimacy between parents growing up. Yeah, it's a tough thing, isn't it? So much of us have limitations around love and what it means to us. There's so much truth and so much non-truth in how we see love. So what's beautiful is that, hi Michelle, so beautiful for you to join us. We're just clearing limitations beneath the surface around not feeling good enough. So feel free to connect in with that energy if you'd like to explore it, or you watch the replay later. Rosemary, need to feel free and with no blockages, dealing with positive people, no negative people, better positivity around, and people with a higher vibration, right? Amazing. This is where we want to be. This is our truest home, this beautiful place of peace and equilibrium that allows for all of these things to become true. So feel free, anyone else, to share any other truths or intuitive wisdom that they've had throughout that beautiful process. It feels absolutely wonderful. It feels like we've cleared a lot of anxiety for a lot of you today, which is really wonderful. Really wonderful to see. So I'm hoping that you all enjoyed some beautiful subconscious healing today. I'm hoping that you enjoyed those shifts. What I would love to do is introduce a little more about what it is that I do. On Tuesday evening, Australian Eastern Standard Time at 7 p.m., I'm offering a subconscious healing and DNA repair healing. So this would be the next step. Once we have been able to identify a limitation and we've been able to integrate some truth, the next step would be to see how can we shift and repair your DNA energy. And this is perfect for anybody who has experienced any form of trauma. It works wonderfully and amazingly for anybody who is experiencing health issues. And anybody that's been having difficulty healing healing anything that's physically manifested within their body, healing their health and their well-being, and also feels like it's going to help a few people from this group. So whether you're watching this now live or whether you're watching the replay later, it actually feels like this would help a few of you who have just been struggling to throw away the 9-to-5 job, or struggling to give away, the elements of their current work that's just really not working for them, because it's been bringing in this harsh reality, this energy that's been making it very difficult for us to want to wake up in the morning, for us to be able to bounce out of bed, loving life, feeling wonderful, and feeling like those beautiful dreams of, those magical opportunities that we see possible for ourselves one day. We want to be able to fold time and space and bring those into the now. So DNA shifts are what are able to transform all of your deepest limitations, the limitations that have been with you for the longest time, but also offer you the opportunity to clear some resistance, to close the gap, to be able to shift the amount of time that it is going to take for these things to start flowing into your life. And this is something I'm so passionate about, because from the moment that I began my journey, I have had some very long-winded resistance throughout my journey. And I tell you, since I started working from the DNA level, it has just completely started shifting it, so quickly for me. My clients have been receiving benefits so quickly. It is absolutely, the mind boggles. It is completely limitless what is possible with this. Any health issue, any limitation that you are stuck with in your life, any challenge, no matter how long it's been there, this is that new magical thing that can change it all for you. I absolutely promise you that. Yes, Kayira, I would love for you to ask a question. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Carrie enjoyed it. Thank you, Carrie. It was wonderful to have you here with us. Yes, Lenny's also a reader. Yes, and isn't it interesting, Lenny? Even beautiful work in the healing field. I know this for myself. When I started reading tarot cards for people and I started doing Reiki healings for people, it felt so amazing. But there was this huge part of my life and my business that was still out of alignment. And so much of this work was draining me. And now I can intuitively see the moment that something has gone out of alignment, I'm able to catch it and I'm able to shift it, so that I'm consistently in the space of being able to receive and feel fulfilled from anything that sort of shows up in our lives. So this is the world that is truly possible with us. And especially those, if you are already an intuitive and you're helping other people, and it's feeling good but not amazing, then definitely please contact me, because there is an essence to healing that so many of us haven't been able to capture, because the techniques that I use haven't really been shared on a global scale. They're very, very experienced. It's been around for a very, very long time, but it's taken some time for people to be able to open up to shifts on this level. And it's taken time for all of us, including myself, to be able to feel ready to be able to dive into our deepest limitations and be able to feel ready and empowered and being able to step up and be a leader. So this is something that has, been around for a long time, but it's only recently become very, very, very super accessible. So, whether you're looking to receive support and receive some DNA shifts, or whether you're just loving absolutely everything that I'm saying and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be doing what Emma's doing. I want to be able to tune in, be able to shift limitations for people this easily, and be able to have beautiful, beautiful transformations on this level, then absolutely please connect with me on Facebook. I would love, love, love to explore this with you and see exactly which element of subconscious healing you're ready for and see what we can do for you moving forward. So you can add me on Facebook. My name is Emma Wachs. Michelle is saying, yes, please shift my DNA. Wonderful. We've definitely done some DNA shifts for you. If you've just joined us, then absolutely feel free to watch the replay. Any questions that you have today, the replay will allow for you to shift those. But what I do want to offer you all today is the opportunity to join me for a group subconscious healing and DNA repair session. And this will be happening on Tuesday, the 4th of August. And this will be happening at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So this is where we're going to dive one step further into the healing process. And so not only are we going to be shifting this limitation, but we're also going to be integrating in new DNA. We're going to be healing and transforming your DNA, which is going to allow for these shifts to happen very, very quickly for you and with very little effort. So yes, that's true, Jason. It's up to us in this lifetime to undo all of the trauma of those who came before us, within us, and after us. Absolutely. And it's something that I absolutely love about DNA healing and working from that level is that, there are no limits to how beautifully we can shift and transform. So if you're somebody who's been so completely and acutely aware of all of the different levels of transformation that you've had in the past, so you may have been exploring your past lives, you may have been exploring your past in this life, you may have been exploring ancestral energy through your relationships, you may have been exploring your future and clearing things from that aspect. You may have been exploring your subconscious. Whatever level of being you have been working on identifying, and shifting awareness on, this is the thing that is going to bring all of that full circle. This is that magical thing that's going to be able to transform that for you on all levels. And if you're feeling or experiencing this on some way and you're connecting with the essence of this, then I highly, highly, highly recommend that you jump in for our group healing session next Tuesday. So the link is in the description of this post, and I'm also going to pop it into the comment section afterwards. But this transformation is absolutely wonderful. These transformations are so, so huge that I can only offer them once every month now. I used to do them weekly, but they've become so enormous that once per month we get together around the time of the full moon and we explore all of the deepest shifts that are there ready to be cleared. We clear trauma from our current lives and we shift trauma for those around us in whatever ways in the highest good. And we do this from a blissful space, from a space that is so comfortable and safe and supportive. You get to be welcomed into my beautiful energy and, explore it all from such an effortless place of ease that it will, it'll change healing for the rest of your life. It'll change the way that you decide to create transformations for yourself moving forward. Thank you, Lenny. It's been lovely listening to you as well. Thank you for joining. But yes, this will change the way that you see healing and transformation for the rest of your life, because you will find the grace and the effortless and the ease in the process. And at the end of the day, that's what life is all about. It's not about, you know, diving into stress in order to find information and therefore do what we can to shift and clear, you know, whatever was creating that stress in the first place. It's only a small part of that beautiful, you know, process, and we can get so distracted with exploring and analyzing all of the different areas of our life. And I know this because I used to do this so much. Explore all of the different areas of my life, right down to every last minute little energetic connection. But this creates stress. It creates a harsh reality and a harsh way of healing ourselves and our body. So what we do want to offer is a beautiful, safe and supportive space in order for ourselves to shift and transform even the deepest and grandest of you know, difficulties from our past. So if this is something that has been inspiring you and you're interested, I would love, love, love to connect with you again. Rosemary's sharing some beautiful hearts. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Michelle and Kaira, Lenny, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I've absolutely loved connecting with you. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them into the comment section, add me on Facebook, and don't forget to follow Find Time and Space. You can also check out the Spiritual Events Directory Expo, which is going to be happening in 2 weeks from tomorrow. Jump into my Subconscious Healing Expo booth to see more on what it is that I do and to experience some beautiful meditations and healings in there as well. So thank you, everybody. I've had a beautiful hour. I hope you have as well. And I look forward to seeing you when it's divinely timed, when the connection is at its fullest. And if there's anything that I can ever do to support anybody, please feel free to reach out to me. I love connecting with new, beautiful souls. If you're trying to figure out exactly where subconscious healing fits in for you, please just feel free to reach out, add me on Facebook, send me a message. I would love to connect with you. Much love. Goodbye. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend and stay safe.